I think we're live. Welcome, everybody. We're thrilled to have you join us today for this exciting announcement. I'm Sam, and I'm here with Lilypad CEO Ali, some members of the team, and welcome. Today marks a significant milestone for Lilypad, and we can't wait to share what it means for you. Before we get started, let's take a quick look at today's agenda. Let's switch slides. It's me and Ali. In our agenda, we'll be introducing Lilypad, our new IncentiveNet, and how you can participate and all the details. Oh, I got a echo here.
It's just you, I think, Sam. I can't hear any echoes.
1 second.
Yes, but hello, everyone, as well. I think I'm on stream, aren't I? Yep. Thanks for joining us all. If you're on YouTube or Twitter, tell us where you're dialing in from. I'd love to see where our community is based at the moment. Yeah, thanks for joining the stream as well. Vic Bits, we've got in the chat here. Sunny in New York City. Wow. It must be pretty late in New York City. I love New York, though. Such a great place to vibe in and hang out in. Thanks for joining the stream. What's going on here, Sam?
All right. I think I'm fixing it. But yeah, we're super excited to be here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I'll hand it over to Ali to tell us about Lilypad and Lilypad's mission. And then we'll have Head of Research Stanley talk about Lilypad and why we're here.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Hello, everyone. So excited to be here. This has been a long time in the making. We've been developing Lilypad really for a bit over a year now. We kind of started back at Protocol Labs with a little bit of just an experimental bridge that operated as a link between smart contracts and the Bacuyao peer-to-peer compute network. I think some of you in the chat might actually remember that. I'm seeing a few old school folks on the chat that probably do remember that. And it was super popular, and it really opened up the scope of what you could do with distributed systems. So we basically put in a fourth pillar of the open web a little bit. So coming from the Filecoin ecosystem, we had storage, and then we had smart contracts built on built on top of that decentralized storage. Obviously, EVM, the whole EVM ecosystem opened up a bunch of use cases in the blockchain world. And now adding compute to it kind of opened up this whole new world of things that we could do with Web3, and not just in Web3 either. I really think that this is part of building a bridge between Web2 and Web3 a little bit here. But the importance of, I think if you're coming from this world and you're listening to this stream, you have a very good understanding of why distributed systems are important and why it is that we need to be building them. So I won't go too much into that. But today, we're launching the Incentivized Testnet for Lilypad. And what that means is we are ready to really supercharge this distributed compute system that we've built, really make sure that we're building out the primitives that are going to make up a decentralized AI infrastructure stack, really helping us to test and develop all of the things that we're going to need to make solutions with AI and crypto well into the future here. So if you're part of our community, if you've been following us, thank you for the support, and really excited for you to be able to now get rewards for participating in helping us build what we hope is going to be a really impactful project into the future. So yeah, I could go on all day, Sam, so you better...
Yeah, that's awesome. We love to hear it. But of course, for the community, we want to hear your thoughts also, your questions and your excitement. So make sure to drop everything in the chat. And now if Stanley could come up and give us a little rundown.
Yay.
Welcome, Stanley, Head of Research.
Did I do it? Am I up?
You're good to go.
All right. I'm so happy to be here. What a special day. What a special moment. Been so incredible watching all of the good work go in to the IncentiveNet, and now it's just I can't wait to see everything unfold. Yeah, really happy to say more. Would you guys like me to maybe just jump in and share a little bit about like why I love
Yes.
collaborative computing?
Yes, please, Stan. What really drew you to having you be part of the team, drew me to having you be part of the team, and thank you so much for being here. Like, you're making an amazing difference. Is just your passion for distributed compute and how this can help us solve some of these centralized science challenges. So I was on a podcast this morning and I was mentioning a little bit about your rare disease research that you've been implementing. So I'd love to hear why it is you think systems like Lilypad can help scientists like that solve problems in this space.
Heck yeah. So happy to be here because I have to say it's hard for me to climb off of my soapbox on these topics. And I have been on these soapboxes for a long time. Allie, I think I've told you that I got into collaborative computing when I was in middle school. I think I was about 11 or 12, and there was this little school across the street from where I grew up called Stanford University. And out of Stanford, there was a very special program called Folding at Home. Folding at Home was one of the first and one of the biggest distributed and collaborative computing programs. And what it was trying to understand is how proteins fold. And proteins aren't just like your whey protein to get pumped at the gym. The proteins are the little nano machines that run our whole body. And so the shape of these proteins, the way that they fold, it is how we understand biology. And more specifically, it's how we understand and try to treat disease. Most diseases come from some protein going haywire in some way. And so the very first step to understanding if a particular chemical or a particular molecule is going to cure or treat a disease is to actually model that molecule and the protein and then see how they fit together. And yeah, this takes a lot of computer juice. So the Folding at Home network was run across hundreds of thousands of computers all over the world. Teams would compete for points. And there was a leaderboard. And so as like a young kind of like a hot roddy middle school student who was obsessed with fast computers, me and my friends built the craziest Frankenstein machines to see who could get the most folding points. And I even remember very fondly many summers we'd go up on Sand Hill Road and dumpster dive and try to find computers that had been tossed out and then hook those up in our garage. Wow, have we come a long way, Allie.
That is so cool. I love that background. You're like the original cyberpunk there for data science a little bit. Kind of some parallels there in what we're doing with IncentiveNet as well, giving rewards for people to contribute in an impactful way to this distributed compute network as well. Sam, I'll hand it over to you. I think we have Nate coming up next, who is our head of ecosystem and partnerships, to talk about some of the partnerships and use cases we're developing with Lilypad. Is that right? Or did we have something before that?
We have Clint actually coming up.
Oh, great.
Clint is next.
I shouldn't interrupt the host. My bad.
No problem.
Yeah. So Clint, we've had the pleasure of working with Clint for the past, how long has it been now? It feels like forever, which, in a good way, but only really since April, hasn't it been? So Clint came on board as to help us do the game theory and tokenomics in Lilypad, and it's just become an integral part of our team here as well. And he's helped lay the groundwork for how rewards will operate for node providers in the Lilypad network for our IncentiveNet as well. So thanks. So good to have you, Clint. Maybe you can give you a bit of a background on who you are and what your specialty is, and then we can talk about your work on the IncentiveNet.
Sure. I'd like to parrot everyone's sentiment. I'm very excited to be here today, and it is a huge day for Lilypad, so it's amazing to see it come to fruition. So a little bit of background on myself. As Ali said, I came on the team about mid-April, and I was referred by a mutual friend where I did some work for Tempest Labs, which was a crypto startup about 1.5 years ago. I was brought on there by a good friend, and I was responsible for doing a lot of the same things I'm doing for Lilypad, that is kind of designing the game theoretic mechanisms, a lot of the higher level or perhaps lower level systems understanding. My background is in computational methods and electromagnetics, so there's a lot of very large simulation work that goes into this. And so I'm also excited about Lilypad, not only to be working on the parts that I'm working on, but I interface in my other job with supercomputers all the time. So I do a lot of distributed computing on big clusters for writing simulations that deal with electromagnetic physics. And so that's kind of my background. I'm a professor at Auburn University currently in computational methods. But on to the topic at hand, the IncentiveNet. So the IncentiveNet is obviously the thing that is beginning today, and the purpose of the IncentiveNet is to bring people into the network that can do the things that we prioritize. And the first priority is bringing on our compute resources, our GPU providers, GPU, CPU, these other things. And so what we've done is sort of write some mechanisms into a points reward system, and these points will be redeemable later for Lilypad tokens when they are minted at mainnet launch. But these points will be given to compute providers who come on early, stay on the network, remain active on the network, and the points will be awarded by that behavior as well as the compute power that they're able to bring onto the network and sustain. So I believe there's a public-facing document coming soon that explains all of these, the actual physical equations that play into this. But there's a pretty in-depth mechanism behind bringing those providers on, keeping them from colluding with one another, and making sure that they get rewarded for joining early and staying. And of course, GPU providers or resource providers are not the only actors. We will have other phases of this testnet to bring on other actors as time progresses, and all of those things will be made public as they come. So,
yeah, awesome.
I also could keep going if you want me to, but
yeah, the blog, I think Lilypad, we've just posted the blog. A lot of this is based on Clint's thinking and calculations here. We're trying to incentivize the right behavior on the network, obviously. So we want folks that want to genuinely contribute to making an impact here and that want to grow with us to come on board and be rewarded for their participation. Now, initially, we are definitely focused on the node providers, so bootstrapping, bringing node, compute providers onto the network in order to do jobs. To prove the amount of compute power that they have, we're using hash rate. So we're using a proof of work algorithm, which gives us our hash rate. And we have lots of ideas for upgrading that in the future as well. But early participants will earn more rewards. So obviously, the earlier you are, the more rewards that are available to you here. So if you do, I think we have another segment coming up on how you will join. This will just be our first stage, though. After this will be looking to give out reward points for folks that are building jobs on the network. So bringing really cool AI jobs like the one Stan was talking about before to the Lilypad network, or that are building integrations and plugins with things like storage across the early frogs get the flies, exactly. Integrations and plugins across the network, or that are building use cases with other folks in our ecosystem that are doing really cool stuff with data or with autonomous agents in general. So we're looking to have many ways that you can earn these rewards. open source contributions, general participation as a community person, writing educational threads. Everything will kind of be available to folks. So you don't need to be fully technical here. You don't need to have hardware. There should be a way that you can participate in this network as well. Sorry, Sam, I probably stole some thunder from other slides there.
No, it's good. Thanks, Clint, for coming up and giving us
Thank
that
you.
rundown.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Clint will be involved with helping us build out the rewards programs across the entire system here, running up until our mainnet launch, which we are aiming for in Q4 of this year.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now if you want to go into why the IncentiveNet is important, and then we'll have Nate come up and give us a little rundown on partnerships. He's the head of BD. So yeah.
Sure. So I think in general, why Lilypad is important is that we're democratizing access to compute really, and a high-powered compute. I think, this is something that came out in Stan's story before. Being able to access compute to perform AI is increasingly important, and that is because an individual is going to be a better subject matter expert on the problems they are looking to solve in their own environment than a corporation with vested interests is going to be. So we want to make sure that, folks like the early internet have access to AI technologies and are able to run them and solve really important problems for themselves with them. So this is part of the underlying why of Lilypad. We want to build this system to give access and availability to anyone to use AI models. And we're hoping to really play an important part in building out this decentralized AI stack along the way. So why IncentiveNet? Well, IncentiveNet not only helps us bootstrap different parts of the ecosystem, so obviously onboarding those nodes by providing rewards because they're providing a valuable service. They deserve to be rewarded for that. But also, enabling us to get really valuable feedback from people, enabling us to test out some of our business assumptions, make sure this is what people want to do with the system, make sure that the security is there. So there'll be, there'll even be rewards for breaking our system, basically, and not just breaking the smart contract part of our system, but also breaking the game theory. Can you cheat? Can you collude? In what ways could you do the wrong thing on our system? And we'll reward you for that because we want to make sure that we're creating a really scalable and sustainable system that, is still around and enabling this access in 10, 20 years. So who knows where we're going to be then. It's crazy to think about a year in the future with AI currently, but in 10, 20 years, I don't know.
Totally. Everything just changes so quickly.
Exactly. It's just if you look at the last even 30 years of technology, and I'm going to show my age here, but I grew up in the 80s. So I grew up without a mobile phone. I have a picture, I think, on my GitHub of me with our family's first IBM computer, which had a floppy drive, so you had to, and the kids won't remember this, but we had to, unplug our phone, our landline, in order to use the internet back in the day. So, the speed of growth of technology has just been, it's exponential. And I just think it's kind of insane how much we can do now. So in another 10 years, it's just going to be amazing. Digital slow
exciting stuff.
Exactly, Big Bits, exactly. And I still remember the noise, right? The modem noise from back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Or when you were, later on when you were using the internet, you'd hear that incoming text when the text and the speakers would go like, doo-doo-doo.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it did used to interfere. Anyway, I'd be like, sister, get off the phone. I want to use the internet.
Yeah.
But anyway, and before mobile phones. So yeah, the speed of technology is just crazy. But I think one of the things growing up in that era and seeing the internet come to life as well, for me was just, the amount that could be done with it, the way some of the stories that we heard about folks now being able to access education or being able to access information they needed. And I think we, not we in Web3, but I think maybe in a general way have lost our way a little bit, and need to, and this is why Web3 is so important, and this is why projects like this are so important. We need to ensure that we're building technologies that really match our vision for those technologies. Because if you look back at technology like the printing press, which all of a sudden broadcast knowledge and kind of shared communication to the world, obviously, moving on to social media there, that changed how society operated. Fridges, and not fridges, but like things like washing machines, helped give women the ability to participate in the workforce instead of being at home or doing the washing.
Yeah.
The internet then gave global reach to folks to access knowledge and information. And we're kind of on the same path here. It's really important for me anyway that access to AI is the same. Because these technologies are really tools for shaping our society in general. And that's what they do. So building them the right way is incredibly important. Yeah. Sorry, I went on a bit of a spiel there.
No, it was awesome. So
yes.
much great info. But now let me change the slide and we'll have Nate come up. Welcome, Nate. How are you doing?
Hey, awesome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Allie, you were not alive when the printing press was invented. That's all I heard. I don't believe this. I appreciate your aging yourself, though. I was a 90s kid, so I remember floppy disks and Napster and,
I didn't quite go as far as the
Napster
printing
was
press.
old. That was 2000. Okay. I have a washing machine. I own one of those.
You do?
Super
Well done.
super awesome. Yeah. I can do laundry. Awesome being here. Couldn't be more excited. I joined the team here recently to help with a lot of the partnerships and BD stuff. So my background kind of fed right into that. Certainly in the Web3 and otherwise spaces, but helped build out some cool ecosystems, partnerships with GameStop, multiple layer 2s in the blockchain world. As well as others informally, even going back years before that. But Allie, we crossed paths a couple of years ago on one of these projects. Sam as well. I'm having flashbacks looking at the two of you. But yeah, my background definitely is not geared towards this whole technology and AI and this like earth-shattering stuff. And so it is more than interesting to me.
No, you're underselling yourself, Nate. But yeah, we used to work together on another project. I think Web3 is, fantastic for that. We're all kind of this really close-knit community. We have our differences, but at the end of the day, we're all on a mission to kind of make tech better. And I think you're participating in that as much as anyone else, right?
Well, yeah, the cool part is it's the same connecting of dots that kind of span across all industries or all technologies. And I love doing that. I love finding and putting together puzzles, connecting 3 or 4 different projects that all complement each other and everyone kind of wins and builds and grows together, which is like the ethos and the principles in a lot of these spaces and why I joined the industry to begin with. Yeah, should I go into some of the obvious partnerships? So IncentiveNet is here. We went with a very cool blockchain out there that everyone would be familiar with, Arbitrum, for a number of reasons, but they just have an awesome team. They have a mature ecosystem that we will, again, kind of complement and vice versa with some of those partners in the ecosystem already. And the tech is great. It's up to par with what Lilypad requires to accomplish our mission. Some of the other ones that aren't as obvious, we have some cool things in the works that will go perfectly with this incentivized IncentiveNet. Things to really get the community involved and benefit from it, but making and gamifying portions of this to just make it fun, which I think, you know, the industry needs more of. Let's see what else. I think those were kind of the main ones to touch on, at least that are publicly known. There's quite a few others in the works, but
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
tell me.
Yeah, have you got a little dog in the background that is just like really wanting to come in there, Nate? Is that you? Or is
That's my parrot.
Are you really? Do you have a parrot?
Yeah. Should it be forever on this recording?
I mean, it is already, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's up there. She
What's
likes,
not a parrot?
it's an Amazon double yellow-headed Amazon parrot. She talks. She is my
way.
Wow, that's so
my
cool.
office mate.
What did she say?
I didn't realize you had never heard that. In our
No.
team calls, my headphones automatically block out background noise, so no one knows that I have like someone else carrying on a conversation.
Just
But
joining in.
So funny.
So really,
the
we've
secret
got
is out.
2 team members for 1 here.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
I
Yeah,
need all the help I can get here in my.
absolutely.
2 brains are better than 1.
Better than Chat GPT, Chat Parrot.
She is big brained. That's for sure.
Nice.
I love it. Yeah, so we're definitely looking to do multiple integrations and plugins across the ecosystem. So if anyone does have a project out there that you're working on autonomous agents, you're working on maybe the data piece or storage pieces that you think could help build out this decentralized AI open technology stack, please get in touch with us. Nate is probably your best person to as a frontline contract there as well. So if you are listening to this and wanted to get in touch, reach out either to Nate or in our Discord, lilypad.team/Discord too.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. See you. So next we're going to go into the juicy part, the benefits of participating. So the benefits of participating are that you get early access to our platform, you earn rewards, yay, and you help to shape the future of Lilypad. So now we can have Brian, I believe, come up and give us a little bit of the rundown of engineering, the engineering behind Lilypad, and why we deployed to Arbitrum. 1 second. Here we go. Welcome, Brian. How you doing?
Oh.
I think you're muted.
Yep.
Happens to all of us. Well,
really great to have Brian, though. He used to work on an amazing team called Fission in the ecosystem as well. We were really lucky enough to have Brian come and join us here, building out Lilypad on a similar vein more recently to it. He's just become a superstar of our engineering team. So really happy to have you here, Brian, and to give us some insight into the engineering work that went into, deploying the incentivized testnet as well.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Am I good?
Okay, we can.
Awesome. Okay. First, I'm going to date myself right alongside you, Ali, and say I remember the old BBS days. I could not get my sister to get off the phone, despite trying really, really hard. I remember the coffee parties with the pool table and everybody brings their diskettes and yeah, good times. So yeah, as you mentioned, I worked at Fission before, and really excited to come here and work with Lilypad. Things like Lilypad make it possible for all sorts of folks to offer compute. And to me, it's just like such a cool take on time sharing. It's hard to imagine that individual people who are resource providers who are running compute nodes and want to share their resources could ever compete with the cloud or the cloud giants. And so I'm just super excited to be able to make this accessible to lots of folks, and some of the use cases that Stanley was mentioning, like those. I'm just really excited about those. Our Arbitrum has been great. Like we did our release to that. I'd say in the last like week or two as sort of like a pre-release, and that's all gone really, really smoothly. Really solid blockchain, and has been working pretty well for us. Um, and I've been, really enjoying working on some of the distributed systems challenges in our system. Obviously, blockchain is great for transactions and incentives, but the thing that strikes me about architecture, and I'm sure a lot of our architecture, and I'm sure a lot of the other ones out there, is that it's kind of an amazing communication channel. We have, a solver node that's out there running that's trying to figure out how can I do matchmaking? How can I match somebody who would like to run a job with a resource provider that's able to run them for it? We have a job creator that's like, queuing up the jobs and figuring out, how are we going to like handle these? And just so much of the communication happens directly on the blockchain, which is fantastic. And in terms of building things up and deploying, we've I'll get into like a little bit of the technical details. We've been using OpenTofu, which is a fork of Terraform. And so we're building out, pieces of our infrastructure and adding more and more to that as we go along. And I'm also working on like our release pipeline and getting things like in good shape, so we'll be able to have good semantic version releases for everyone to use. Yeah, those are kind of like the pieces that at least that I've been working on. Are there other things I can answer, Sam?
No, I think that's great. Unless Allie has something that she wants you to hit on.
Yeah.
No, that was a really fabulous description. Thank you, Brian. And it's good to hear your whys of distributed compute too. We'll have to get you to sit down and write a blog on that. I think people would be really interested in your take there, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Sure. Thank you so much for joining us, Brian. And
thanks for having me.
This future.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to get into the details on how to participate in the testnet. Next slide. How to participate in the testnet. You'll be able to run a node. That's a great way to get involved and contribute to our platform's development and stability. We will bring up Logan now so he can give us a rundown on how you can do that, all the hardware requirements, and how to get set up. So welcome, Logan. How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Hey, Logan.
I
can't actually see you. Are you like, is it midnight and it's completely dark, or is this my screen? Can you see me?
Hopefully it's your screen.
It's a little blurry, but maybe.
Oh, really? I can't see. I only see a black screen. But anyway, all good. So me and Logan actually met. When did we meet? We met at South by Southwest, I think. Back in 2021, I'm going to say. So March of 2021. And he and Alex, who is another team member here, were these kids that walked into this Filecoin hacker house that we were hosting. And I just remember sitting down and we just had this whole talk about the ethics of blockchain and what excited us about the space and why we're here building the technology. And, obviously become friends since then. And I've seen them do some amazing things on their own as well. And here we are working together. So really stoked to be able to have Logan working on the Lilypad project as well. So, hey, Logan, you're going to tell people how to join as well.
Yeah. Thanks for all those kind words. We'll definitely have to take a family/group photo in ETC in Belgium. That'll be super exciting. But yes, how to participate, how to connect a resource provider to the Lilypad network, how to earn rewards based on hardware that you own. Very, very simple and easy. I could take us through the docs. Shall I do that, Sam? Shall I present my screen maybe? Is that
sure? If you want to, we could do that. Just share your screen and I'll put it up here on the stage.
Okie dokie, sharing screen. Cool. So yeah, in our docs, we have our hardware requirements real quick. So if you have a computer sitting next to you, sitting in a closet somewhere, we would love to have you contribute to our network, preferably if it has an NVIDIA GPU, currently with at least 8 gigs of VRAM. And so since we're running AI models here at Lilypad, we need to have a little bit of GPU power. And so 8 gigs of VRAM is what we have found to be the minimum viable, useful GPU. You need to have a pretty substantial, but not too crazy of an internet connection, at least 16 gigs of RAM, which is pretty standard and normal, and a quad core x64 processor, pretty standard in terms of server GPU hardware requirements. If you're running any big AAA title games, this requirements list will certainly fit within the spec. Moving on to actually how to run the node, we have a whole bunch of documentation to set your node up. You basically just need to grab some of our testnet tokens, Ethereum tokens and Lilypad tokens. And now that we have a whole new update, it's not Ethereum tokens anymore. It's actually Arbitrum tokens. Very super exciting. So here's how you can set up your wallet. Super simple. We have a video on how to do this as well. But yes, so after you have your wallet funded, then you can just set up the actual services running in the operating system. Right now, we're mainly using Linux. And so if you're a Windows gamer, you can super easily set up a Linux environment as a dual boot or within a VM. And so you can keep playing your games and running Lilypad at the same time. Super excited to work more on that. But super simple container toolkit stuff. Very easy to go through. You've got to install the 2 services, Bacalhau and Lilypad. That will enable you to communicate through the network. And then once you have your private key set up from the wallet that you set up previously at the beginning, you are good to go. And yeah, I mean, it's basically as simple as it gets in terms of setting up a computer with a decentralized compute network. And so any questions, anything anybody wants to know, Sam?
Yeah, no, any questions from the audience would be great. Please drop them in the chat if you do. I'm sure Logan can still answer once he drops off video. But yeah, thank you so much, Logan. That was a great explanation. And I'm dropping you down now.
Thanks for having me. Ciao, ciao.
Bye. All right. So other ways you can participate are also by testing out our IncentiveNet. You can get started by testing out one of our existing models, such as SDXL, SDV, or Olama. Here's an example of running an SDXL job in the terminal. And then let's see, it prompts you. Does it open up the image in this one? Yes, you get the little Spaceman. And here is what it would look like where you insert your prompts, and then you'd get the result. Then you have Stable Diffusion also available, where you get awesome video, the Spaceman in video form. Other ways to participate are also by building a module. Anyone looking to explore deeper AI workloads and building containerized serverless workloads to run on Lilypad is an excellent way to contribute. So make sure to join our Discord and check out our docs. And our Discord, you can chat with people in our engineering team to get hands-on help. So
see pictures of Nate's parrot. So
oh, you are? Nice.
I mean, if you join the Discord, that's where you can see them.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I definitely want to see those. So that's exciting. Allie, I'm not sure if you want to add anything else here, or else we can go into the IncentiveNet timeline.
Yeah, I think this is a great segue into the timeline here. So initially, as I mentioned earlier, we definitely want to incentivize, will reward anyone that's participating in making this network bigger and making an impact here, or providing value to the network in some way. So we'll definitely not be having a full rundown of every way possible that you can earn rewards, but we will be tracking some more community-focused rewards as well. But how IncentiveNet will generically run is that we will have stages of our incentivized testnet running through till our mainnet and token release at the end of the year here. The first stage is onboarding the nodes that we're going to require to run jobs. So that's where we're at now, and that will be our main focus alongside some parallel work efforts here. The next stage will be modular onboarding. So in the Lilypad ecosystem, we don't just match up GPUs with someone wanting to use them, and then that person has to set up all the infrastructure on the GPU and configure it and then use it, and then just pays for kind of a time period when they use it. Instead, we operate on a job-based system, which means you develop a job, which is a containerized compute job. We can containerize it. You can run it on Lilypad. So these jobs on our network are called modules. So we're calling them modules, and this will be the next stage of development for us. So once we have the compute in place, you want to be able to do useful things with it. So we'll be incentivizing folks that can build those really cool AI and ML workloads, even onboard Hugging Face models onto the Lilypad ecosystem. And this will help us also make for a better developer experience and identify any gaps in our current product as well. So we'll have a module onboarding focus in the next stage of our incentivized testnet. Following that, we do want to make sure that we're building out this decentralized AI stack, this really open stack for compute, which involves, compute is obviously a really important part of that, but we need integrations and plugins to other parts of the AI system, like being able to store data or being able to use data in your models, or even just accessing models in general. So plugins and integrations here, and use cases, some of which Nate spoke about earlier, will be looking to provide rewards for some of that. As a parallel effort around about this time as well, this is where we will be also incentivizing cheating and checking, auditing, and doing the kind of bug bounties there. So all the security nerds out there, this is when you can shine. Though definitely if you find something earlier, that will still be rewarded. So you don't have to wait for this stage to come up in order to report back bugs or feedback to the system. It's all really valuable to us in making a really robust and long-term future for Lilypad. Finally, we'll have, we're looking to build out a SaaS layer on top of Lilypad. So that'll include APIs, SDKs, maybe a Unity SDK, for example, which Nate might be interested in, and end user applications and decentralized applications, dApps here. So we'll be looking to incentivize folks that are building downstream and using Lilypad as a core piece of their architecture here. So incentivizing demand, so to speak. Before we launch to mainnet at the end of the year, which will be another massive event that I'm really looking forward to as well. And then we'll take a break for Christmas because we'll be exhausted.
Sounds good to me. That's so awesome and really exciting. I want to give us a quick rundown on the rewards. I'm sure people are excited to know.
Yeah, so I think with the rewards, we mentioned when Clint was on earlier, the full breakdown of the Lilybit rewards. We're calling them Lilybit credits. So those Lilybit credits will be redeemable for the Lilypad token once we launch to mainnet. We've earmarked approximately 10% of our supply. And depending on demand here, we will be elastic about that and about moving up the percentages there in collaboration with Crypto Econ Lab, who's helping do our tokenomics here. So shout out to those amazing folks as well, helping us to develop a model for making sure our ecosystem is economically viable on a long-term scale as well. So the rewards, though, for the GPU providers can be found on our blog. It's blog.lilypad.tech/ will be the first blog up there, actually. So just go to blog.lilypad.tech and you'll be able to find a full write-up with the mathematical equations, even the model that you can run yourself from GitHub, and how those rewards will be allocated as a GPU provider. So you can dig into that. There's also a too long didn't read at the top because it's quite involved.
Awesome. Thanks, Allie. And thanks for the whole Lilypad team for sharing today. I did want to dive in a little bit on our community. Lilypad's success heavily relies on the community and the support and all the contributions to our project. We're grateful for all of those that have already contributed and future contributions. There are several ways to get involved. Obviously, joining our Discord to stay updated with all the news and everything that's going on is a great way. Sharing your ideas and contributing to the community and with other community members. We're also active on Twitter, X, so make sure to follow us there. We'll drop some links in the chat, but don't worry, at the end, we'll also have a QR code you could scan with all our links with the blogs, docs, Discord invite, everything. So don't worry. Allie, do you want to give us a little sneak peek on Galaxy?
We also have, so we have some translations into Mandarin as well for those folks that, where English isn't their native language. I feel like,
right.
As a non-American, I feel like, America often forgets about the rest of the world. And then I think that also applies to the English-speaking world. Sometimes we forget that it's not always as easy for the non-English speaking world. So we do have some translations into other languages of all these docs as well, and Chinese support, Mandarin support here as well from some of our amazing community members, Taosheng being one of them. So sneak peek into, yes, our Galaxy campaign will be launching. I feel like you probably know more about that, Sam, than I do, but our amazing CMO, Emma, has been working on a campaign, and the Galaxy campaign will go live next week. So keep an eye out for that if that's more your speed than providing hardware as well.
Yeah, there'll be some exciting challenges and exclusive rewards for technical and non-technical. So stay tuned. First place you'll hear about it is our Discord. So make sure you pop in there. So yeah, everything's been super exciting. Before we wrap it up, make sure to check out our Lilypad Tech AMA right after this. If you could stay with us, where Steve, Rich, and Taosheng will be sharing more details, and it's an opportunity to chat with hands-on technical people from the team and get your questions answered or any help that you need. So yeah, if there's anything else that you want to add, Allie, the only thing that I can think of is that we are going to ETHCC. Yay! Yeah. So exciting. That's going to be a great event, and I'm super excited to see all the pictures and events that are going to go on.
Next year we'll bring you some.
Yeah.
Yes. So, some of our team will be at HCC. We have a few events that we'll be talking at and participating in there. We'll have some information coming out on that soon. But if you're interested in meeting us there, reach out as well. We'd love to talk to you, especially if you are looking at use cases or want to do a collaboration with us. We'd love to chat with you there. Yeah, super excited. We've got a couple of use case proof of concepts that we'll be launching there as well. So
awesome. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. We're incredibly excited about all this and what's ahead. Can't wait to join this journey with all of you guys and start building together. Lastly, make sure to join that Discord so you are fully involved with the IncentiveNet and don't get lost. You're able to ask questions and just come and vibe with us, come meet the team and just be part of the community. So yeah, make sure you scan this QR code to get all the links on your phone so you don't lose them. You have access to everything. And I believe if we have anything else to add, we could just send it to Steve and Taosheng.
I'm looking forward to meeting everyone and seeing Lilypad grow over the next 6 months. I'm really excited here. It's been a long time coming, and this is kind of a really big milestone that we've hit. So super proud of the team, and a massive thank you to the community for supporting us for this past year, and everyone that's been involved as well in helping to support us. So it's been really appreciated.
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone being here. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day or evening. And we'll catch you in the Discord. See you later.
Woo!
Bye.